announced our new general manager for the Diamondbacks, and it's a change that we all felt like we needed. You guys all know you represent your organization in Taco Bell, which Tatum and Shea, anybody here? Tatum and Shea? Yeah, man. We were a little late. They were going through the drive-thru. It took a little longer to get our taco here. So, but I frequent there a lot. I live in that general area, so I have 3 young kids. I have triplets. They're 12 years old, so of course we spend a lot of time through the drive-thrus, especially the Taco Bell one. And when they score 6 runs or more, we'd like to have that a little more often than we've had this year. So, but nonetheless, this is an exciting day for our organization, just as well as you guys are leaders in yours. And I think it's important, you being the leaders, of being strong motivators to your employees. When I played baseball, I played for 18 years in the major leagues. I played till I was over 40 years old. I knew it was time for me to make a change my last year in the majors. I was playing for the Florida Marlins. The manager was 44 years old. I was 40, just getting ready to turn 41. The players were 21 and 22 years old. And my son was hanging out in the locker room. They wanted to hang out with him more than they did me, so I knew it was time to get out of the game. And they knew more about Xbox and PlayStation and stuff like that than I did. So, but things happen and you end up moving on in life, and I'm very happy to be back with the Diamondback organization. My heart has always been here. My last 2 years of my career were in LA with the Dodgers and with the Florida Marlins, but this has always been home for me. I moved around quite a bit playing in the major leagues. Played for the Houston Astros, the Cubs, back to Houston, to Detroit, and then I got traded here to the Diamondbacks, where my career did a complete turnaround, and I had a fresh opportunity, a fresh start. And I think for a lot of you guys being employers and having the opportunity to own some of these Taco Bells, when you bring in new employees, I think the most important thing with you being the leaders is communication. For me as a player, it was important to communicate with a lot of the guys. I consider myself a leader in the clubhouse. We have so many different types to make up a team out here, and I struggle watching our team this year, because if you look at our team, we're filled with, if you had an ice cream store, we would be vanilla. We have no flavors on our team. We have a lot of guys that strike out. We have a bullpen that can't get guys out. So we definitely have to make changes. And I think sometimes when you're an employer, you see that, and you have to find creative ways to either energize guys and motivate them, or you just have to move on and either get rid of those guys. And we had that problem a little bit with our last general manager. We kind of got stale here, so we figured it was time to make a change. We're very excited with our new general manager that we have. Although we play professional sports and you guys are in the food business, it's different obviously from what we do to you do, but in the general world, we all have to communicate with people. You guys have to communicate with your employers, with customers every day. Just as we do out there, we have to communicate with our fans, and we have to work with each other. Sometimes you work with employees that you like, and sometimes you work with employees that you don't like. But you have to make those sacrifices, and you find a way to get it done. There's been many teammates that I didn't like playing with, but when you walk between the lines, you have to find a way to get it done and go out there and play with those guys and get along. And if you're on the same page, if everybody's tugging the rope the same direction, you end up winning those games. And I think it's no different than work in general life. That's what you have to do to motivate each other, find creative ways to energize your employees, whether it's incentive type things or whatever. Everybody likes to get pushed once in a while. And if you go to work and you're the top salesperson and you don't want to get any better because you feel like you can't go any higher, then it's time for you to move on. You always want to try to push higher and get to that next level and get better and better. I always felt like a professional athlete. When I was at the top of my game, I didn't want to change from when I was the guy in the bottom working my way up, because the same people you pass on the way up are going to be the same people you pass on the way down. So you try to keep those lines of communication open with everybody. You try not to change being the person that you are, and I think everybody appreciates that. And when you have an honest and open relationship with your employees, it goes a long way. if there's ever a problem with any of those guys, they feel comfortable to come up to you and talk to you. And I try to do that as a ball player. I'm bilingual, so I speak Spanish. I went to college in Alabama, so I had a lot of different. I grew up in Florida. My family's Cuban. I've traveled all over the country playing on different teams, different organizations. So I always felt like it was important to be that leader guy, that if there was a problem on the team, before they went to the manager or the coaches or any of them, they had a guy that they can trust and they can rely on and ask for advice. And I took a lot of great pride in doing that because I felt like it was important to be that leader of the group. We're still looking for that guy right now in our dugout. And once we find that guy, we're going to be okay. Gibby's our manager right now, but in professional sports, if you don't have a strong-willed guy in there that helps motivate these guys, when that manager walks out of that room, if there's not that one leader of the ship in there that says, guys, this is what we got to do, this is the way you do it, it's not going to happen. So you have to trust your employees, and you have to have that one or two people in there that's going to be on the same page with you, motivating your other employees. So just think about that when you're looking for your managers or things like that. When you go out there, you have to have that person. When you're not there, who can you rely on in that locker room or in your business or in your restaurant? It's going to help get you through those tough times. Because I know in sales they go up and down. You have your good months and your bad months. Believe me, I had a restaurant that had a lot of bad months here. And I learned real fast. It wasn't mine, by the way. I lent my name out to it, and I learned the hard way. But it's part of a learning process, and we all go through it. So I've learned a lot playing and traveling, and I feel like I have a lot to offer to these younger players here, and I'm going to do more of that this year. I traveled a little bit to some of the minor league cities. I enjoy doing that. I enjoy spending time with more of the younger players when they get here. Unfortunately, sometimes the new generation, they feel like they know it all. And I'm sure you guys have plenty of those employees, right? So it's no different where you guys work than where we do. So I'm excited to be here with you guys. Like I said, this is a great opportunity for me to meet a lot of different people and different careers and opportunities and things like that arise for each and every one of you guys. So at this time, I guess I can take questions, right? Throw them at me. Fire away. Yes, sir.
You look like you can still play.
I can. I can. I told Webby today, he was out there getting ready to pitch. I said, I'm going to get in uniform and go out there and hit against you. But, there was a time where the general manager that was here before, he's no longer here. But I tried to come back and play here. This is where I wanted to finish my career. Obviously, him and I had our differences. I like to say I outlasted him, but that's just the way the nature of the game goes. You have to have thick skin, you move on. I was disappointed because this is where I wanted to be, but in pro sports, I wanted to be sure when they didn't want me here anymore, I wanted to be sure that the fans knew, because a lot of times as an athlete, you get that perception that you're money hungry, you're greedy, and things like that. Well, that wasn't my case. I enjoyed being here. I enjoyed waking up in the morning, taking my kids to school, and being home with them at night. And the last 2 years of my career, I wasn't able to do that. And I felt like my kids were getting older, and as they were getting older, I tried to, I kind